What's going on, everybody? Serial Entrepreneur, and in this episode, we're going to go into a big thing, a big topic that you guys have a lot of questions about, and it's basically just starting a business, what you need to know to start a business and get it off the ground. And I'm going to break it down for you guys so that it's super easy to understand, so you know exactly what you got to do to get at least the basics covered to where you don't have to worry about doing anything illegal. All right, so first and foremost, you have to start filing for your business, and that's the very first thing you need to do. So you need to file statewide, and you need to file either in your county or city, depending upon what your state regulation is. So when you go online, go to www.incfile.com. This is the site I recommend using. And the reason why is because it's super cheap. Don't go to, LegalZoom. I don't use their site. They're way too expensive. Go to IncFile. It's $150, and you can apply for your state license and get that done there. It's $150 to $200 depending on the state. Could be more or less actually from there. I believe some of them actually offer it for $49. So if you actually go over to IncFile right here, you can see there, that's all they do is business signups and stuff like that, or formations. You can select your entity type, the state you're trying to go, and it's really just, it's $49 plus state fees. So it just depends on the actual, the state you're in and what you're trying to do. So go to IncFile, set that up there. The cool thing is you get a registered agent for free for the first year. If you don't go to IncFile, you might have to pay for that registered agent, and I believe it's like, it could be, $50 to $100 a year. It's not usually expensive, but hey, that's money saved if you can get it free for a year, right? So take advantage of that site. I highly recommend it. It's definitely my favorite site. The next thing you're gonna have to do is so you got your state filing done. So you have two options here. You can either pay to have your business filed in the county or city through IncFile. They'll do that for you, but it's so easy that I don't let them do it. I do it myself because they're gonna upcharge you to do that. So I do it myself. You just go to your local office, whether it be the courthouse or whatever, and you submit the document to them. I believe here where I live, it's $75 for that. So those are the two things that you need to submit to get your business actually off the ground and legally registered. All right, so the next thing, and if you're not in the US, I guess I should, because I do have some viewers in other countries, just make sure you check your local business filing laws and make sure that you take all the necessary steps. If you're not sure, there are usually business development centers that offer free resources for getting businesses like that started up. Then the last thing you're going to want to acquire for your business is your EIN or TIN. What is a TIN or EIN? TIN is tax identification number. EIN is employer identification number. They're both the same number, and it's actually similar to your social security number. So there's really, I guess, two options that you can choose. If you're a sole proprietor or you're running a business by yourself, you can just use your social security if you wanted to as your tax identification number for your business. I don't like to do that. I like to separate them out and keep things completely separate. I like my personal stuff here, my business stuff here. So I still get a TIN even if I'm running it by myself, but that's up to you. But if you have employees, or if you're going to have employees, you have to have an employer identification number for that reason. And this is a very, very, very easy thing to get. Do not pay someone to get your TIN for you, okay? Every business service out there will offer this, and they'll charge you $100 for something like this, when all it requires you to do is to go to the irs.gov. You fill out a quick little application form that takes probably 3 minutes to fill out. You put in your business identification number, which you'll get when you actually file for a business. You put that number in, and then the IRS will send you an email within 5 seconds after submitting that application with your tax identification number. And businesses will charge $100 for that kind of service. Do not waste that $100. Please do not be lazy, because that's really what it comes down to. If you have to do that, you're just lazy. Nobody should ever pay for someone to pick up their TIN number for you, okay? Do it yourself. Save that $100. Don't be lazy. And the next thing we'll go into is bank accounts, all right? Because I get a lot of questions on what kind of bank account. Here's the one I recommend, and here's why. One Spark by Capital One Spark Business is the bank account that I use for mine. There's a few reasons why. Number one, free checking. There is no monthly service fee. If you're a business and you set up a business account, most of the time you're going to have a monthly service charge, whether it be $10 or $5. And that's whether you're making money or not. So if you go a period of a month where you don't make any money, say it's in the beginning, and you're trying to acquire new customers, they're going to charge you $10 and you haven't even given them or taken any money out of their bank yet. So avoid banks like that. I go with Capital One because that checking is free. You don't have to worry about that. And they're paperless. Everything is done online. I prefer to do everything online. If you get checks, you can do mobile deposits, so you don't have to worry about that. You can do invoicing from their bank account, which I love, so I don't have to purchase. A lot of people ask about payment processing for their business. I don't pay payment processing because I do the invoicing through my banking account. So that's a really cool feature that you're going to want to take advantage of. And then the last thing is really you want to manage all of your expenses and income or revenue through one account. And basically what that is it keeps everything organized and in one spot so it's easy to manage. So just keep that in mind. The last thing is, or not the last thing, but one of the last things is if you do have to get payment processing, I recommend Square Payments or Stripe. My first choice, and it's one I've used personally, is Square Payments. I love Square Payments. I used to use it with my, mobile detailing, car washing business, and pressure washing business. It is a great platform. There is a service charge that they charge, but a processing fee that they charge you on every transaction. So that kind of sucks. So if you're trying to make as much money as possible, then you need to know, or you need to understand that, you have to take away from things like processing fees. So just doing the invoicing, online on your bank account is going to make that a lot better, and you'll be able to save some money. So click that link right there and go to Square Payments if you're looking for a platform to use. I've used Square. I haven't used Stripe, but I've heard a lot of great things about Stripe. I just prefer Square Payments, but I guess I can't really say too much about that because I haven't used Stripe. So check out both, see which one works better for you. So online presence is going to be the next part, and this deals with your website, social media accounts, stuff like that. So let's talk about some actual information. When should you worry about setting these accounts up? First and foremost, I would go ahead and set up the website and your social media accounts right off the bat. Get some information on them. I wouldn't spend a ton of time actually trying to promote and put content out on them, but I would make sure that you have the basics covered. So images need to be good. Have some content on the pages. All of your about information needs to be listed. So like your business info, like the phone number, the address, stuff like that. You want to have all that set up. And the next question is, when should you be worried about posting or concern yourself with posting on your content? And me personally, this is what I feel. Don't spend a lot of time on it in the beginning because you're not going to have people going to view your pages anyway. So it's a waste of time. So if you have a Facebook page in the beginning, you have 20 followers, why are you spending 90% of your time worrying about what you're posting to Facebook? You should be out trying to sell, get new business, because you're not reaching anybody anyway. So build your business first. Get some sales, get some clients under your belt, start promoting their content. Then once you have that taken care of and you're more worried about, managing your brand, that's when you can actually start worrying about posting content. But in the very beginning, it is not going to be a big deal. I get the question, well, what if they look at your Facebook page? They're not going to. Chances are, if they're hiring you to do this job, they hardly ever look at their own Facebook page. So why are they going to go look at yours? And even if they do, what I say every single time, and it's gold, is, yeah, I totally get that. My page doesn't have a lot right now. That's fine. I'm straight up with you. I always have been. So I'm a new business. My main goal right now is getting customers. So I could sit there and post to my Facebook page, but I know two things. Number one, there's a lot of big businesses and big agencies in the Atlanta area that are already doing that. So me trying to compete with them doesn't make sense. And if I spend all that time there, I'm really just wasting time. The second thing I know is I'm going to get more value out of my time if I'm going out and trying to find customers. And that's really why you guys know I even exist, is because I came out to you and I found you, and I'm able to provide these solutions. So yes, I don't have much posting going on right now, but I guarantee you watch in the future, there will be plenty of content there. But for right now, that's just not my focus. I'm focused on getting clients for my business, and spending my time on their needs as opposed to what my website needs to look like. So that excuse or that reasoning usually makes it click in their mind like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. He's trying to worry about his own business or making sales before he actually starts trying to build a following on Facebook. So what accounts should you set up? Obviously have the website done, but I recommend instantly Facebook needs to be the first one you do. Instagram is always a really good one. If you're focusing on younger audiences, go ahead and do the Snapchat or YouTube channel, but it really just depends on what your business is trying to market to. At the very least, again, Facebook, Instagram, and your website. Those are the three main ones that I would have taken care of. What are the basics that you should cover? So profile images, cover images, basic content. You don't need 3,000 articles posted, but you need to have 5 to 10 articles that you have posted or information or posts on your page. All of your business information, so the phone number, address, all of that information needs to be present, because if not, you're doing a disservice to all of your customers anyways. So make sure all of that basic information is covered. And this is, again, for your business, okay? All right. When should you begin focusing heavily online? That's kind of the last part. And again, I don't recommend you do it too much up front. Get you some clients under your belt. Make sure you're making a few $1,000s a month before you actually start doing anything online. You need to go out, you need to build the clients that you actually, build the clients that are actually going to make you your money for your business before you actually start worrying about what content you're promoting online. Chances are they're not going to check out your Facebook anyways, because why? They're not even checking out their own Facebook typically. So just keep that in mind for what you need for online presence. And then the last part of all of this, and the last little piece that I recommend, and especially for myself, and probably for a lot of you, is an accountant. And the reason why is because tax law is already difficult enough. Why spend time trying to, get involved with that when it's so affordable to get an accountant? That's the biggest misconception, is most people think that an accountant is going to be super expensive. And I believe I pay my accountant about $35, $40 a month right now. Or no, I'm sorry, that was a different service. I pay him $75 a month, and he takes care of all of my bookkeeping, make sure that I'm paying my taxes properly. It's not expensive at all. So get an accountant that's going to be able to handle all of those types of situations. They're also really great because they're great for handling simple tasks like bookkeeping. They provide financial advice, tax advice. And like I said, they're usually very inexpensive for those basic services. You can get at least those covered before you actually get someone who's like maybe a financial advisor or somebody like that. That's a little more hands-on and usually is a little more expensive. So that's the only thing I would say there. But get an accountant. I'm actually going to have one of my buddies who is an accountant, and he's my accountant. He's going to come on and talk about some basics you need to know, like W-9s, 1099s if you're contracting people. So you have a basic understanding of what actually happens in tax law, business law with regards to taxes. So and some other things they do, like I said, financial planning, but they also do budgeting, and they'll take care of payroll. So if you have employees that work for you, they'll make sure that they're getting paid and all the tax information is taken care of. So those are the basics to starting a business. It really isn't as complicated as most people would think it is. I love that. My favorite thing is I'll tell someone I own a business and they're like, oh, wow, you own a business? And I'm like, it's really not as complicated as most people make it seem. They see taxes and they hear like filing for a license, it's not anything to stress over. So use this document. It'll put everything into perspective for you in just a very easy to look at type of format. And it won't take too much extra thought outside of that. So again, as I always say, and as you're probably sick of me saying by now, look over the documents again, watch the video again, make sure you're getting all of the information you need, do some external research, maybe see if there's some other things that can help you get your business started off. There's tons of things like business developers, accelerators, stuff like that can, if you have the money or the budget to get involved with, I definitely recommend. But other than that, you're just trying to get the basics taken care of, and this is the basics. So for this video, that's where we're going to wrap it up. So I hope you got some great content out of that, and I can't wait to see you in the next video series, guys. So for right now, Serial Entrepreneur out.